YouTubers, welcome back to another advanced lesson in Millennial Money. I'm your host, Alexandra Gonzalez. We've been taught our whole lives to go to school and get a job, but what happens when those jobs don't even exist? Thankfully, I got a chance to sit down with Robert, where he goes into all the lies behind job security. You'll be surprised on what he has to say.
So the difference is when I left my high pay, so I got a job with Xerox. So that's the last job I ever had. So when you look at the cash flow quadrant here, ESBI, here I was, okay? And I was making a lot of money at Xerox.
Yeah.
I went to Xerox for one thing, not the money. I worked at Xerox because I had to learn how to sell. Mm-hmm. Because entrepreneurs have to learn how to sell. So I was preparing for this quadrant here.
Yeah.
But I was really preparing for the big business quadrant. Mm-hmm. So I took a job at Xerox for 4 years. So I was preparing for these two quadrants here. So when I talk to young people like you're here in social media,
Yeah.
you're learning the same thing I was learning at Xerox, except you're learning technology-wise.
Yeah.
It's very smart.
100%. That's exactly
Right.
what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And one thing I actually really do appreciate when I worked at the bank was that we were very sales orientated,
Right.
and that's all that mattered. And I think that's where I got a lot of my sales skills too from.
Correct.
Like
Talking
it
to
was
people.
learning how to get rejected and finding a way to not get rejected
Good.
next time.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So the lesson to young people is don't take a job for the money, take a job for what you're learning.
Yeah.
You know, and the harder, it was really hard because I didn't like, I'm actually a very shy person. Mm-hmm. So learning how to sell was the hardest thing I could do. Yeah. But if I hadn't spent 4 years learning how to sell, I never made it here, I never made it here.
Mm-hmm. So the entire time that you were here, you were preparing to jump to the other quadrant.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So every job is not so much for the high-paying job with job security.
Yeah.
For not everybody, you know, most people should have job security because they're not designed to be entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to be an entrepreneur, then you better take this job and say, well, which way am I going to go?
Yeah. Okay.
So I knew my job at Xerox was to go here and here and here,
Yeah.
not stay here. Mm-hmm. And I actually make so much money over here that I don't need job security, I need the money. So really that's the lesson. When you look at a job, you look at what can I learn more than how much can I make. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest challenge. And if you look for a job where you can learn a lot, the harder the job, the better it is.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
And the sad thing today is there's guys my age, old guys, who should be retired, but they can't afford to retire. So they're going back looking for a job. Last night I was talking to this Vietnamese guy. He lost his job with a telecom company. He was a computer programmer. So the saddest thing, and this guy I meet, nice guy, probably a few years younger than me, he's now working 3 jobs because in his head, I mean, he was a high-paid executive with a telecom company, and he lost his job. The company's out of business. I won't mention his name.
Yeah.
But he still has go to school, get a job. Mm-hmm. It's still running his head here, rather than say, what can I learn? And today, I mean, it's really sad. I was having coffee yesterday, and this guy comes up to me. He's about my age. He says, can I come to your company and apply for a job? I said, man, you're as old as I am. Yeah. But he says, I just don't want any problems. I just want the paycheck.
You spoke to the wrong person.
I said, why don't you ask me, what can I learn at your company? He says, I just want job security. And I think that's the biggest trap, and it's one of the biggest reasons that people going to school of your generation. There's a whole world out here in small business, whole world out here, and whole world here. So when I got out of the Marine Corps, this is where I knew I was going, was I got a job with Xerox so I could learn to be an entrepreneur, but I was also taking investment classes to buy real estate. And where do I make most of my money today? Real estate, not at my job.
Yeah, and I think what you nailed it when you said, I mean, it's okay to be an employee as long as we're on the right track of our final destination.
What are you learning?
What are we learning
Yeah.
through this? And like right now I'm an employee, but I'm learning so much more
Yeah.
to prepare myself for my future.
Isn't it fun learning too?
Yeah, I love it. And it's just like, and here especially, I think it's about finding the right company too that allows you to learn. Because here I'm allowed to learn and take resources to do my own things on the side.
Yeah.
So I think that's the most valuable kind of job you can get.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you mentioned about job security, because the other day I was in Uber, and he was telling me how he was actually Peruvian and had to move from Peru because of personal reasons and come here to the US, and he was a really well-known trauma surgeon in Peru and was making great money, loved what he did, but was stuck here and starting from scratch in Ubering. And it was kind of sad seeing such great talent going to waste for now, but he's working on it and working on, you know, finding something where he can fit into now here, but
Yeah.
it's just, there's no such thing as job
You see,
security.
as a trauma surgeon, he's in the S.
Yeah,
He's highly specialized.
yeah.
And the trouble with that is you have to have a license.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reason I went into sales, and my poor dad went nuts, he says, "What are you doing at Xerox?"
Yeah.
I said, "I'm learning how to sell." "Oh, you're a salesman. Salesmen are crooks." That was my poor dad. And it was my rich dad that says, "You better learn how to sell."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Why is that?" He says, "If you can sell, you'll always have plenty of income."
Mm-hmm.
So it's your skill
That's
set to make you rich, not your job security.
Exactly, yeah.
So I took a job with Xerox. I didn't get paid for about 2 years. It was really hard.
Wow.
But once I caught on,
That's
but I
nice.
took a lot of sales training courses, and I kept learning what the other guys didn't.
Yeah.
And so once I could sell a lot, I was 600% of my budget at Xerox.
Mm-hmm.
My best friend was 800%. And today we're both entrepreneurs because we own businesses and we own real estate.
Yeah.
We had our job at Xerox preparing us for here. So that's what I recommend to young people, you know, take a job, but what are you learning more than how much you're earning?
Mm-hmm.
And every time I have somebody come in, I want more money, out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what you've done for everyone here too. It's what are you learning? What do you want to learn?
Yeah.
Because if not, you won't last.
Well, how much have you learned from Tom Wheelwright, my accountant?
Oh, and a tremendous amount. Because of him, I passed college. Ironically so, but because of him, I've also learned things for my future and for my life right now.
Right. And how about Kenny and your mom teaching you real
Kenny,
estate?
my mom, I mean, they've changed our life. They're the reason, you guys are the reason they moved from one side of the quadrant to the other.
Yeah, your mom's over here now on
Yeah.
my side, right?
Yeah.
Your mom was a salesperson, and now she's over here.
Yeah.
Is she happier?
She loves it, and she has more time for us too, and
Yeah.
spending it with us. And so, and like you've mentioned before, she's with my dad because she loves him, but she doesn't need him, so because she's her own eye, you know.
Yeah, she was a real estate agent here, a salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
And I pissed her off, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I said to her, your mom, I said, salespeople work for tips.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, in real estate, I think you get paid 6% tips. And I said to her, you work for 6% in tips. That's what these guys do, S's do. And I said, I tip my waiters 20%. So who's more important, my waiter or my real estate agent? And she went ballistic on
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's over here understanding what I'm saying.
Exactly. And it was that pain that moved her
Yeah.
forward.
So she was over here,
Yeah.
and now she's over here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah. Very powerful.
So it's just a change of the mindset. If you look for job security, there's a high price for that security.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Thank you.
So, what we're all wondering, Robert, do you have any tips for us millennials?
Right. Again, I'll say this much here is, how do you increase income? And you've got to sell. You know, sales equals income.
Yeah.
And it's, if you don't have income, it's because you can't sell. It's just that directly. So there's two things I'll just say. My best friend and I, we became best friends at Xerox. He was #1 in office products, and I was #1 in copiers. Mm-hmm. And this was a secret to our success. We outworked the other guys. So one thing that we both did is Larry and I, and he's a mega real estate developer today. Mega.
Mm-hmm.
You know, thousands and thousands
Wow.
and thousands and thousands of rental units.
Wow.
Huge fund, you know. But we both started work on Sunday night. And so, well, why would you do that? I said, well, because we partied Friday and Saturday. We're hungover on Sunday, and we'd start work on Sunday night. And we would get all our, we had it all set up. So on Sunday, we did all our proposals for the next sales and all this stuff. So Monday morning came. Well, the other guys were sitting in the coffee shop drinking coffee, complaining about the economy, bitching about the boss, My friend Larry and I hit the road running. And by Wednesday, we'd done everything. Oh, wow. Made our sales calls, done presentations. We knew we were ahead of the game. So that was number one. The other thing we both did is we volunteered for charity. So when other guys were going home, like on Monday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, and all this, we went to these charities and we dialed for dollars. So we'd say, hi, we're calling from this Red Cross or animal shelters. So we volunteered to sell for charities, again, the spiritual side. So for from like 7 to 9, 1 or 2 days a week, we'd be on the phone dialing for dollars. Now you can say, well, that's generous of you. It wasn't generous. This is why we're successful. During the day, we were lucky if we made 2 sales calls. By making phone calls at night, dialing for dollars, we could make 10, 20 calls a night. So the more calls we made, the more failures we had, and the more money we made.
Yeah.
So we would make all these phone calls at night, failing away, but we're more effective during the day. So all these people say, well, you shouldn't make mistakes and all that. The more we failed making phone calls, the better we got.
Yeah.
And after a while, I didn't care if I got rejected or this. And I'd say, hello, I'm calling for this. And, one was the Red Cross we dialed for. Hi, calling for the Red. We don't want it. I said, look, please listen to me. I don't want to donate. I said, please, I'd handle the BS. Like, I'm dialing for a good purpose. I'm dialing for the Red Cross. Yeah. And pretty soon, okay, I'll give you the money. So I do that at night. And I could do that 10, 20 times a night. During the day, I made more money. Wow. So anyway, that was the secret of our success. We failed one of the other guys.
So here's to busting the myth of job security and high-paying jobs. I hope you use this as a motivation towards your path of entrepreneurship. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and comment below. We also left a free gift for you in the description, so don't forget to go get that. Bye everyone, take care.